Students, we studied gases can be liquefied whenever intermolecular force of attraction increases. Now we are going to study about liquid state. Liquid state is a physical state of matter where intermolecular force of attraction is very strong. So here in liquid state, intermolecular forces are strong. So particles of the liquid state are close to each other compared to the gaseous state. But still, there is no very close pattern. As a result, the liquids, even though they have definite volume, they do not have definite shape. So liquid state has definite volume, but liquid state do not have definite shape. The liquids take the shape of container in which they are placed. ಈ ದ್ರವ ರೂಪಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು ಗಾತ್ರ ಅಂತ ಇರ್ತದೆ, ಆದರೆ ಅವುಗಳಿಗೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ಡೆಫಿನೆಟ್ ಆಕಾರ ಅಥವಾ ಶೇಪ್ ಇರುವುದಿಲ್ಲ. ಯಾವ ಕಂಟೈನರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಡ್ತೀರಾ ಅದೇ ಶೇಪ್ ಅನ್ನು ಪಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತದೆ. ಲಿಕ್ವಿಡ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ particles occupy less volume compared to the gaseous state. So if you consider a gas and liquid of same substance, gaseous state and liquid state of the same substance having same mass, ಒಂದರಲ್ಲಿ gaseous form ಇದೆ, ಇನ್ನೊಂದರಲ್ಲಿ liquid form, ಒಂದೇ substance ಇದ್ದು ಅವುಗಳ ಮಾಸ್ ಸೇಮ್, ಆವಾಗ volume occupied by liquid is less than that of gas. Liquid na volume ಯಾಕೆ ಕಡಿಮೆ? ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ intermolecular force of attraction strong ಇದೆ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ liquids have more density than gases. Liquids have high density than gases. Liquids have high density than gases. These liquids, like gases, they diffuse. But diffusion is slow. They diffuse, but slowly. Why diffusion of the liquids is slow? Why? Because in the liquids, between the particles, there is some sort of intermolecular force of attraction. These are some characteristics of the liquid state. Now we are going to study important properties of the liquid state. The three important properties of liquid state are vapor pressure, second one is surface tension, and third one is viscosity. Third one is viscosity. About these three properties, now let us study in detail. I'll take up the first property of the liquid, that is vapor pressure. Let us consider a liquid in an evacuated vessel. So let me consider a liquid in evacuated vessel. This is the manometer. And we have an evacuated vessel containing liquid in it. So here particles of the substance exist in the liquid state. Means between the particles there is a strong intermolecular force of attraction. So this is our liquid state. In liquid state, particles are attracted to each other by intermolecular force of attraction. If particles overcome this intermolecular force of attraction, they can go to the vapor state. Now, from the liquid state, some of the particles escape from the liquid state and go to the vapor state. Let me consider these are the particles in the vapor state. These particles are in vapor state because they have overcome the intermolecular force of attraction. So this is vapor state. This process at particular temperature occurs continuously. Some liquid molecules escape from the liquid state, overcome the intermolecular forces, go to the vapor state. At the same time, some of the molecules in the vapor state, they strike to the surface. At that time, they are drawn back to the liquid state. So, here, the particles of the substance, if they go from liquid state to vapor state, the process is called evaporation. Vapor getting converted into liquid state, that process is known as condensation. As time passes, at particular temperature, evaporation as well as condensation both take place. Evaporation takes place when the liquid molecules overcome the intermolecular force of attraction and they go to the vapor state. This process is evaporation. The vapor molecules striking to the surface and getting back to the liquid state, that process is called as condensation. After some stage, there may be same velocity for the evaporation and condensation. So, evaporation and condensation process, they may take place at equal speed. At that time, a stage is reached which is called equilibrium. Means here the velocity of evaporation and velocity of condensation are equal. This condition is called equilibrium. Equilibrium is a condition where velocity of forward process and velocity of backward process are equal. Here forward process and backward process, if I consider forward process is liquid going to the vapor state and backward process is the vapor getting back to the liquid state. So the same I can write this way also. Liquid getting converted into vapor, that is evaporation, and vapor getting converted back to liquid state, that is condensation, are at equilibrium. At this point, the pressure exerted by vapor on the surface of liquid is called saturated vapor pressure. So now let us study the definition for the vapor pressure. Vapor pressure is pressure exerted by vapors above the surface of liquid at equilibrium. That is called as vapor pressure. So vapor pressure is pressure exerted by vapors on the surface of liquid with which they are in equilibrium. Vapor pressure depends upon or factors affecting vapor pressure are: first one is intermolecular forces. Only if intermolecular forces are weak, the particles from the liquid state can go to the vapor state. That means, if the intermolecular forces are weak, more and more liquid molecules can go to the vapor state, and as a result, more is the vapor pressure. So, if intermolecular forces are weak and the particles मध्ये attractive force ಆಕರ್ಷಣೆ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಆವಾಗ vapor pressure is more. So, intermolecular forces and vapor pressure are inversely proportional to each other. As intermolecular forces decrease, vapor pressure increases. Second factor which affects the vapor pressure is temperature. We know the effect of temperature on intermolecular forces. As temperature increases, intermolecular forces become weak. As intermolecular forces become weak, vapor pressure increases. So, we can say increasing temperature decreases intermolecular forces. As a result, vapor pressure increases. So I can conclude that increase in temperature increases vapor pressure. So these are the two important factors which affect the vapor pressure. So intermolecular forces and vapor pressure are inversely proportional. Temperature and vapor pressure are directly proportional. So a rise in temperature weakens the intermolecular forces, hence increases vapor pressure. Now, every liquids will have certain vapor pressure as at a certain temperature. The liquids which have the less vapor pressure, they will not undergo evaporation easily. As vapor pressure increases, the evaporation becomes easy. So, volatile liquids generally have higher vapor pressure than the non-volatile or less volatile liquids. Say for example, alcohol is having more vapor pressure. As a result, evaporation is easy in case of alcohol. But water is having less vapor pressure. As a result, its evaporation is slow. Now let's relate the vapor pressure to the boiling point. So let's come to the topic, boiling point. We are studying boiling point of liquid. In simple way, we say it's a temperature at which liquid just starts boiling. This is what the definition we generally give. What exactly the definition is? It is the temperature at which vapor pressure of any liquid equals the atmospheric pressure or external pressure. So it is the temperature at which vapor pressure of liquid equals external pressure, or we can say atmospheric pressure. Atmospheric pressure we can express in any units of pressure. If atmospheric pressure is given in terms of unit atmosphere, that is 180, the boiling point is called as normal boiling point. So, boiling point at 1 atmospheric pressure is called normal boiling point. In case of boiling point is expressed for any liquid at 1 bar external pressure, it is called standard boiling point. Boiling point of any liquid at 1 atmospheric external pressure is normal boiling point. Boiling point at 1 bar external pressure is a standard boiling point. We know the relationship between 1 atmosphere and bar. 1 atmosphere is equal to 1.013 bar. That means 1 bar is less than that of 1 atmosphere. Since 1 bar is less than that of 1 atmosphere, we can say the standard boiling point is slightly less than normal boiling point. So, standard boiling point is slightly less than normal boiling point for a particular liquid, for the same liquid or for particular liquid. This is because 1 atmosphere is greater than 1 bar. 1 atmosphere is equal to 1.013 bar, or you can say 1 bar is equal to 0.987 atmosphere. So this is how we convert atmosphere into bar or bar into atmosphere. So by these values it is very clear that 1 atmosphere is greater than 1 bar. So standard boiling point is less, normal boiling point is more for the same liquid. Say for example, water H2O, its normal boiling point is 100 degrees Celsius, whereas its standard boiling point is 99.6 degrees Celsius. See, there is slight variation in the normal boiling point and standard boiling point. Why? Because normal boiling point is boiling point at 1 atmospheric pressure. Standard boiling point is at pressure 1 bar pressure. That means if the external pressure changes, there is change in boiling point. Factors affecting boiling point are: one is external pressure. If external pressure is high, boiling point is high. External pressure, if high, boiling point is also high. Why it is so? By definition, we know boiling point is temperature at which vapor pressure of liquid equals the atmospheric pressure. Vapor pressure for any liquid at particular temperature is same. If you have less atmospheric pressure, this liquid can boil at lower temperature on heating. But if external pressure is high, the boiling point is high because more heating is required to reach that external pressure. ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. Let me consider this is the value of vapor pressure of liquid at a certain temperature. Let me consider this point is external pressure, which I will mark it as P1. Let me consider this is external pressure P2. Now it is clear that external pressure P2 is greater than external pressure P1. This is the vapor pressure of liquid. To equalize the vapor pressure to the atmospheric pressure, liquid should be heated or boiled. So, let's heat on increasing temperature. Boiling occurs. This is what we know. Now let's heat the liquid which is at certain temperature. When we heat it undergoes boiling and the temperature required for the boiling, let's consider it is T1. For the same liquid, if the boiling has to take place at higher external pressure, we have to supply more temperature. Let me consider that is T2. If we clearly compare T2 and T1, you will find T2 is greater than T1. T2 is the temperature required to reach the external pressure P2. T1 is the temperature required to reach the external pressure P1. Means when the external pressure is low, boiling point is low. So these are the boiling points. When external pressure is low, boiling point is low. When external pressure is high, boiling point is high. This external pressure relation with boiling point has applications. Say for example, in mountains or in the hills, the atmospheric pressure or external pressure is less than that of seashore. So in mountains or hills, external pressure is low. Since the external pressure is low, in liquids have low boiling point. Understand? In mountains or hills, external pressure is low. That's why it is easy to reach the external pressure on heating the liquid. So boiling point will be low for the liquid. If boiling point is low, the food cannot be cooked. It cannot be cooked properly at that external pressure. That is why in mountains or hills, to cook food, pressure cookers are used. If the food is cooked normally, that is without using pressure cooker, food may not get cooked. Why? Because the liquids boil early as the external pressure is low. Another application of external pressure with boiling point, we can consider sterilization of a surgical instrument. Sterilization of surgical instruments is done in autoclaves by closing window. The surgical instruments are heated in autoclaves at very high temperature, so they are properly sterilized. When the autoclaves are closed, what happens is external pressure gets increased, so the sterilization occurs properly. So these two are the applications for the relation between external pressure and boiling point. Now let me come back to factors affecting boiling point. Second factor which affects the boiling point is intermolecular forces. As intermolecular forces are strong, vapor pressure of the liquid is low. If the vapor pressure of the liquid is low, boiling point is high. So we can say, if intermolecular forces are strong, vapor pressure of liquid is low. Hence, the liquid must be heated for a long time to reach the atmospheric pressure. Therefore, boiling point is high. So we can say, higher is the external pressure or atmospheric pressure, higher is the boiling point. Stronger are the intermolecular forces, higher is the boiling point. Or weaker are the intermolecular forces, lower is the boiling point. We know there are two factors which affect the boiling point of the liquid. They are the vapor pressure or intermolecular forces, and another one is external pressure. For different liquids, the vapor pressure versus temperature graph you could plot. Diethyl ether. So first graph is for liquid diethyl ether. Second graph for the carbon tetrachloride. Third one for the ethyl alcohol. And for the fourth one is water. We have considered different liquids. Different liquids have different vapor pressures at a certain temperature. They will boil when their vapor pressure equals atmospheric pressure. Here atmospheric pressure is given as 760 millimeter mercury. If you want, you can express it in atmosphere, that is 1 atm, or in bar, that is 1.013 bar. Here the pressure is given in unit millimeter of mercury. Any liquid will boil when its vapor pressure equals the atmospheric pressure. So first graph let us consider, that's for the diethyl. At a certain temperature, that is at 0 degrees Celsius or 273 Kelvin, its vapor pressure is very low. As temperature increases, vapor pressure increases. At one temperature, vapor pressure of diethyl ether equals the atmospheric pressure. That is boiling point of diethyl ether, which is found to be 308 Kelvin. Let's take another liquid, that's carbon tetrachloride. For it also, at low temperature, vapor pressure is less. As temperature is increased, vapor pressure goes on increasing. At one temperature, its vapor pressure equals atmospheric pressure and boiling point for it is 349.72. Similarly, for ethyl alcohol and water, as temperature increases, vapor pressure increases and they boil at 351.3 Kelvin, that's the boiling point of ethyl alcohol, and water boils at 373 Kelvin, means at 100 degrees Celsius. Here if you observe, the boiling point of different liquids is different. Why? Because in the intermolecular force is very. If the intermolecular force is very weak, boils at lower temperature. Diethyl ether has very weak intermolecular forces compared to carbon tetrachloride, ethyl alcohol and water. So diethyl ether boils at lower temperature than carbon tetrachloride, than ethyl alcohol, than water. Among these four liquids, water has very high boiling point because its intermolecular force of attraction is strong. So its vapor pressure at certain temperature is low compared to all other liquids. So this is how we can relate vapor pressure with temperature and vapor pressure with intermolecular forces. Now, one more thing let us do. Students, remember, boiling do not take place in closed vessel. In closed vessel, boiling do not take place. You take any liquid, close it, start heating. At that time, temperature rises. As a result, some of the liquid molecules go to the vapor state. Initially, density of liquid is more than density of vapor. As you continue heating, density of vapor increases. At one stage, density of liquid and vapor. Density of liquid and vapor equal. The temperature at which this phenomenon is observed, at which the density of liquid and vapor are equal, or temperature at which liquid and vapor are at equilibrium, is called critical temperature. Below critical temperature, actually, the liquid and vapors are formed. Above critical temperature, the gas is formed. So we can say below critical temperature, we can say below critical temperature AC, liquid and vapor are at equilibrium. Above critical temperature, only the gaseous state is formed. So critical temperature is that temperature above which gases cannot be liquefied. So students understand, boiling will not take place in closed vessel because as you heat the liquid, initial density of liquid will be more than that of vapor. Then slowly density of vapor increases. At one stage, they become equal, that is critical temperature will be reached. So boiling do not take place in a closed vessel.